Okay, I have more works in progress to show you. One thing, okay, this is kind of a byproduct. I did all these, you know, painted background papers recently. Had me a big old obsessive compulsive fest all by myself. And one of the byproducts of that is drop papers. Not this one, I'm in a different area. But, you know, you just can't help but create a lot of messy, painty drop papers when you're painting paper, right? And so I've ended up with this stack of drop papers, and these are not just from this last painted paper session. You know, these are from various things that I have collected and saved. But there's enough of them now that I'm trying not to talk over the paper wrinkling. So I know it comes across loud. Yeah, there's enough of them that are at a point where they're kind of like, I look at them and I think, oh, that's kind of pretty. It doesn't need anything else. And I've got this whole big stack of those, and they need to be added to my drop paper book, which is this one. There's a video for that you can search for if you want to see. I don't think I showed how I made it, but I've showed this before, so I don't show it every time because it hasn't changed. It's the same running stitch. Up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. I mean, that's it. That's all there is to it. And it doesn't matter how you do yours. You can do a 3-hole pamphlet stitch. You know, whatever works. Anyway, I did this to my... What happened there? Oh. Oh, it broke. I'm going to have to do a little surgery. Look at that. I'm glad I saw that. Hate for that to come out. These are all, each signature is sewn in separately, and I'm kind of glad now, because if that had happened and they were sewn in all together, that would have been a headache. But like it is, it's no biggie. Anyway, I've got all these that are in, these are all drop papers that I put in my book. I know you can't really see. I can't get my camera up far enough for you to be able to see the whole book. But I will adjust that when the time comes, because I am going to add some signatures using these papers, and I'm probably going to put them in between each one of these, because when I made these, it just so happened the papers I had and the ones I was using were all about the same size. So they ended up, you know, a very uniform size. But I don't want that look for the whole book. You know, I want various sizes, and I want it to be messy and stuff. So I'm going to put some messy signatures in between the neat ones and see how that goes. Or maybe I will just trim these down into neat ones. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. I haven't got that far yet. I'm just to the point of knowing that it needs to be done. That's as far as I've gotten. So this is one project that I will be showing you soon, and adding these, and I will have to film from the top of my roof or something so that you can see it. And another one, I'm going to bind this one, which I think I've showed several times, packing paper from American Science and Surplus, and I am going to use a Coptic stitch. I have kind of hemmed and hawed about how to do it, but I have an idea in my head now, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to use this string from Surplus and this needle from Surplus, and that should just be a whole Surplus themed video, right? I think so. So that's coming up. And this, okay, this is also kind of a, oh no, not this, this is separate. I made this a while back. It was, and I think it may be on a video, one of the Zibaldoni videos, I'm not sure. It was a brochure that I got in the mail from, I think, Dell Computers. You know, it's one of those little booklets that advertises computers. And it was on good, glossy, kind of heavy paper. So I painted on it, I don't remember with what, maybe some watercolors and stuff. Probably. I don't know. And then there's some collage pieces on there. But anyway, it fell apart when I was painting it because, you know, it was just stapled together. So I need to bind that. I am going to be binding that, and I'll have a video for it. Okay, these, alright, you've probably got a stack like this at your house, right? These are just paper towels with paint on them and baby wipes with paint or ink, and they were kind of pretty, so you saved them. These are all rust. That is actual rust. You can make homemade rust. The way I do it is very toxic, and so I don't really advertise it a lot because I don't want anybody to try it and then die. But anyway, you can rust your own metal and use the rust on paper. So that's what those brown ones are, and then the rest of these are just paint from various painting sessions. So I started thinking about what I could do with all these because I was getting quite a lot of them. And a while back I tried making some a kind of paper out of them. I think it was Jenny Belly had a video on using painty paper towels. I think she glued them together to make a book or something. I tried that and totally failed. I don't know if I had the wrong brand of paper towels or if my glue wasn't right or what, but I ended up with these just really hard, awful, unusable, ugly things. Yeah, it didn't work for me. So I started experimenting with different ways to use the paper towels to make them sturdier, maybe sturdy enough to bind into a book. I glued some of them together, took two and just Mod Podged them together. I don't know if I have any more of those. No, I don't. Okay, they're in here. Some of them, there's a couple of them I fused. Okay, where's the one? This one. I've been playing with fusing with cereal bags, and I've used up all my cereal bag supply on my experiments, so we have to eat more cereal before I can make a video and show you. But I have several failed attempts here. This is one of them. It was the inner bag from a box of cereal, and I put some papers and, I don't know, some paint or something in between it, and then ironed it, and it didn't quite work out, so I put more papers on top and some water-soluble oil pastels, and then when it was done, I thought it just looked really cool. I mean, I like this. I couldn't duplicate it again, despite many efforts. One of those things. Plus, I ran out of cereal bags. So then I started using plastic wrap with wax paper or deli paper. I used some of both. Didn't really give the same effect. This was a paper towel that I used a piece of plastic wrap to fuse it to some wax paper. If you search for fusing on my YouTube channel, I have videos for that. Didn't really work like I wanted it to. Just washed out the colors. They didn't show up. I went back and put some water-soluble oil pastels on top, and it did come out kind of cool looking, but not my favorite. Not as well as the cereal bags because they're a little bit more transparent. Not completely, but more so than wax paper. So then I thought, oh, what happens if you just take two cereal bags and put some color in between and iron them together? What would happen? Well, this is some of the oil pastels. I'm looking for something white to put behind. There's nothing. Nothing plain white in my vicinity. How can that be? Oh, come on, Shannon. Yeah, I have nothing. Look. There. Now you can see it. Best I can do. Okay. Anyway, this was the water-soluble oil pastels. You know, when I was going circle crazy, I just scribbled some on there. I may have sprayed a little bit of water on there just to get the color to move a little bit. Put another piece of cereal bag on top, ironed them together. Fused beautifully. The cereal bags fuse really, really well. You can peel them apart if you try, which is true with just about every fusing, but if you don't try, they stay together really well. and it's kind of a cool look. So, you know, there's that, which I liked okay, but wasn't thrilled with. I tried it twice. Same technique. I think I added more water that time and just scribbled. This is a painted baby wipe fused in some, this is deli wrap. And I used a piece of plastic wrap to fuse it, and, you know, then ironed it on there. Yeah, didn't throw me at all. The deli wrap is much too opaque. It's too hazy. Yeah, doesn't really appeal to me. Okay, this one, I was trying to be all Susie Dennis, you know. I had a piece of wax paper and just started collaging stuff on it, and paint and glue, and then put another piece of wax paper on top, and then and it all, you know, stuck together. And then I thought I would be all fancy and doodle on it. I was not channeling my doodling muse that day, because this is awful. I don't know what I was trying to do, where I was going. I am so tempted to gesso the whole thing, but I'm not going to. I may gesso part of it, but I really want to try to fix it. I will cover a lot of it up, because it's bad. I don't like it. And you may, someone out there may like it and say, oh no, it's great, I love it, which is great. You know, that's to each his own. This is not my own, because I don't like it. And even on the other side, I don't like it either. You know, I kind of outlined the pieces with the Stabilo, and then did the water brush thing. And then for some reason I added this white paint pen, and Taylor said it was great until I added the white paint pen, and now it's awful. And she's right. It is. So I put a lot of effort into something that I don't like, but I'm not tossing it. I'm going to use it because it's still a good base. It's a good substrate. You know, it's sturdy. It's got layers in between. It has a little bit, I don't know if you can tell. Yeah, the light hits it just right. You can see those places where the light shines through. Yeah, it's got some naked spots. You know, that's like white space. I actually left white space, except it's clear. Not really white. Baby steps, right? But anyway, it has potential. There's things I can still do. I can just paint over it if nothing else. But I folded it in half and went, oh, it's a book cover, because I just think of everything in terms of a book or journal. That's my first love. It's what I do. And then I happened to be working with this big Wine Spectator magazine. I can't even get it in the frame. There we go. This was from my friend Cherie. She had some of these that she was no longer needed, so I liberated them from her, and I disassembled one of them, and I pulled some images out to use for some other things. But as I was disassembling, I was looking at the pages, and they have a very nice texture. This is just a quality magazine. They have an interesting texture. It's not completely slick. You know, the paper's lightweight. I really like this paper, whatever this is going on here. And when you fold it in half, it fits just right in this little cover. Huh, see? And the cover is big enough that I can expand that spine to hold all these pages and make me a nice journal out of this, or, you know, take apart one book in order to make another. That may make no sense to some people. If that makes no sense to you, then you need to move along. You shouldn't be watching this, because it makes perfect sense to me. I used to do a lot of handmade paper. And for a while, we were doing it with junk mail, you know, where you just stick your junk mail in a blender with some water and glue, and then you blend it all up and you make new paper. Jason thought that was the stupidest thing he'd ever seen in his life. You know, why on earth do you use paper to make paper? It makes no sense. Okay, he's kind of right, I guess, but it made perfect sense to me, and I would do it again if I was in the mood It's not something I enjoy anymore because it's kind of messy and tedious, but you know, it was fun at the time, whatever. So anyway, I showed you all of those to explain these. These are the painted paper towels. Some of them were fused with, this looks like deli paper. Some of them I just glued together, you know, Mod Podged together. A couple of them I think I fused, that looks like plastic wrap. I fused with plastic wrap. And some of them are wax paper. I think this feels like wax paper. And yes, this one's wax paper, and the colors of the paper towel were kind of muted, so I put some water-soluble oil pastels on the other side. And once they dry, and I do kind of heat them, then they're good. They don't come off anymore, which you might find kind of surprising on wax paper and oil pastels. But no, they will set as long as they're not really, really thick. You work them into the paper good and they will set. So I just did a simple, I made 2 of them because these were all my experiments, and this was another failed attempt. You know, after this and that other one, I decided I am not meant to doodle over these kind of fused papers because I ruin it every time I do. I don't like that. But it's fine for in here. This is another wax paper with oil pastels. I just took all of my little fusing experiments and bound them together with a simple 3-hole pamphlet stitch, just like this, using that twine from American Science and Surplus. And I think what I'm going to do is just hold on to these and add to them, because you know, I've got all these other ones that I haven't done anything with that I could make more signatures out of. And if you do the 3-hole pamphlet stitch and you start your stitching from the outside going in, then you will end up with your ties in the middle on the outside. And what you can do is take one string from each and knot them together and connect your signatures that way. That way you can just keep kind of adding signatures indefinitely, you know. There we go. Add the next one, the next one, the next one, and you don't have to worry about a cover, at least not yet. You can still cover it in the end, but you can keep them together, and if you choose to work on the pages, you know, they're all sort of held together in a way that you can do that. So that's just a quick, easy little option for you there. So I'm going to do something with this on these, I don't know what, and I'm going to make some more of them using some of these others that I have. So there'll be videos for that coming up soon. So basically I showed you absolutely nothing fun and interesting today. Just gave you a bunch of teasers about what may or may not happen in the future. So I think I will just leave you hanging with that, okay? Okay, the end.